Hi, everyone. All right, we are going to finish up lesson 6 in Ready Reading, describing characters. So today you are going to be listening to and following along in your text a historical fiction story. And I'd like you to use what you've learned about describing characters to help you better understand how this story unfolds. And so, friends, in keeping our learning target in mind of describing characters, as you are listening to this story and following along, I'd like you to think about what the characters say, what they do, and how they feel. Going back to our lesson on Monday, when we were talking about characters' traits, their motivations, their feelings, and how understanding these things helps us more clearly understand the story itself. So I'm going to read this story aloud to you, and then you are going to have some questions to answer and a short response to compose. All right, here we go. Cleopatra finds her voice. Starting here, paragraph 1. 11-year-old Princess Cleopatra sailed the Nile River on the royal barge. Her father, the King of Egypt, played his flute. They were sailing from their palace in Alexandria to cities along the Nile. The king would often lead important ceremonies. Cleopatra watched for slithering crocodiles and yawning hippos. Sometimes she would catch a glimpse of a sacred ibis bird tiptoeing along the marshy banks. As the royal barge sailed, people crowded the banks, hoping to see the princess and her father. They sang and chanted and threw flowers. But it bothered Cleopatra that she could not understand what they said. Her father explained that the people of Egypt spoke Egyptian, while Cleopatra's family spoke Greek. But her father was the ruler of Egypt. Why didn't he and his family speak the native language? They could thank their ancestors for that, the king said. The royal family traced its history back 250 years to the time of the Greek conqueror, Alexander the Great. Alexander had conquered Egypt. When he died, his Greek general, Ptolemy, took over. Ever since, all of the rulers of Egypt had spoken Greek. Once back at home, Cleopatra insisted on learning the Egyptian language. She believed that a ruler should know her people, and that meant knowing their words. Cleopatra studied hard and soon learned to speak Egyptian. But she didn't stop there. She also learned Hebrew, Aramaic, Persian, Latin, and some African dialects. She loved learning and excelled in math and science too. Later, when she ruled as queen, one of her first acts was to visit the city of Memphis for an important religious ceremony. This time, she spoke to the people in Egyptian. The people loved her for learning their language. She showed them respect and honor in many other ways too. Cleopatra is remembered as a brilliant queen. She was the only Egyptian ruler in hundreds of years to learn the language of her people. All right, friends, we are going to come together for any last minute questions, and I will be giving you instructions on your assignment.